So are you ready for me to blow a gasket here?
Oh no.
I know we haven't had this moment, remember.
Is that what we're hitting first? That is not first in my lineup.
No, this is first.
Okay, this is first. So I'm going to take a back seat here, ladies and gentlemen. The pen cap is going on the pen. And you can go ahead and... Oh, I did write it first.
You did write it first.
I just wanted to say that. All right, go ahead, man.
So
let it fly.
So we're going to jump into our Cubs talk here. Do you want me to mute my mic? No, by all means. I want your live laughing or yelling reaction.
I'm ready.
So
hit me.
There's been a lot of talk about Sammy Sosa and coming back, and the Cubs organization pretty much giving him the stiff arm and saying, we don't want to be a part. First of all, I think that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. And I'm about to go off on my favorite team right now. You, for how many years, were irrelevant? 108 years it took you to win a World Series, and the only thing that you ever had, other than Sandberg, other than those 80, that 85, not 85, the 80, I'm so mad, the 84 Cubs. With Sandberg and with those teams, I'm so mad I can't even think straight here. But you had junk after junk. Your 68 Cubs, who... Black Cat, Ron Santo, trying to, win a World Series.
R.I.P.
Trash. And then you hit the jackpot. And you traded with the Southside team, and you got Sammy Sosa, a guy who elevated his game for you for nothing. 98, the Cubs made the playoffs, win in a one-game playoff against the Giants. They get there, out real quick against, I believe, the Braves, if I'm not mistaken. But... you had Sammy Sosa for years and years and years. And I know that people on what we got going here?
One thing, I'm sorry. I keep going. Breaking news, Fizdale, head coach in the Knicks.
Okay, there we go.
Go on, sorry. I just wanted to tell you that because I know we were talking about it the other day.
So, back to Sammy.
And when you get mad, I get scared. So,
yeah, no, I'm ready to pull a gasket. So, Sammy Sosa comes into your organization and does nothing but give 100% effort. And I know I'm going to get a lot of steroids. Everyone was using steroids in that era. Your best players were using frickin' steroids. I'm tired of hearing that Sammy Sosa is not welcome back in the Cubs organization because of steroids. Barry Bonds was a coach in the MLB, a hitting coach. Welcomed him back. They're going to retire his number for the Giants. They welcomed him back. He's an ambassador for the Giants.
Is it McGuire a hitting coach?
McGuire was a hitting coach. See, I'm going to keep going here. It's a matter of time.
I'm asking you that. He was.
Who cares about the baseball? Baseball was done in 1997, 1996. 98 comes around. Sammy Sosa, Mark McGuire brought baseball back. What is so ridiculous is the Cubs are sitting here petty. New organization, new owners, new everything. Have no affiliation with Sammy Sosa. And what are they doing? They're saying, no, we can't have Sammy here. Oh, he was a steroid user. Oh, Sammy Sosa he had the boombox issue with Kerry Wood. How can we bring him back? That's bullshit. Give Sammy Sosa his day in the sun. He's not even asking for you to retire his number. He's not asking to be an ambassador. He's trying to go, throw first pitch, run out to right field, and give everybody the peace. I'm just saying, man, I think it's ridiculous that one of the all-time greats, I can't even mention in a Cubs uniform. Why? Because the Cubs won't even acknowledge it. It's ridiculous. Sammy Sosa is one of the most influential players because when the Cubs were bad, people were buying tickets to go see Sammy Sosa. That's ridiculous. Cubs, own up to it. Bring Sammy back. Have a day. I will buy a ticket regardless of the amount of money that it has to be there. Why? Because Sammy Sosa made me a Cubs fan. Boom.
You forgot one thing. He also corked his bat and lied about it.
I don't give a shit. You know how many people cheated over in the 98 series?
Oh, dude.
Up to the 2000s, pitchers were juicing. Everybody was juicing. Juicing is a terrible, terrible excuse for not being... And hey, did Sammy have his issues with the Cubs? Absolutely. I'm not going to say that Sammy was the best teammate. I'm not going to say that Sammy was the best human being that was out there for the Cubs. I'm just saying... Sammy Sosa put asses in those seats when nobody else could. And the reason that your club is here, I know Cub fans are very
it seems
loyal.
Like everything that I've read online, dude, Cubs fans are torn.
That they shouldn't be. I think that's stupid.
But do you agree with me, though? You've seen that too, right?
I've seen some, but with what argument? What's the argument?
Well, okay, so me on the outside looking in, and you can be, and I want you to be honest with everybody and tell them before I even throw my opinion out there about the Cubs that I am not a hater.
No, he's not a hater.
Okay.
Was that you who had a Sammy Sosa bat in your garage when you were a kid?
Well, yeah, but it wasn't mine.
Right, but you had a bad.
Yeah, it was Mikey's.
Right.
Yeah, it was my. I mean, but Mikey
Mikey,
had it because
huge
he played
White Sox
baseball.
fan too.
Yeah, he's a huge. Yeah, no.
Right.
But
Sammy Sosa was huge, man.
Right.
Like,
He was a
no
big
matter
guy.
if you're
Well,
a Cub fan or not.
Listen, so me for the outside looking in for being a Cub fan here is, and when you say everybody that was on steroids, yes, but my favorite player growing up before, and my favorite White Sox all the time, it's Creedy. Just
Right.
because, like, give him the goddamn Gold Glove already, and they didn't. That
Right.
pisses me off, but that's a topic for another day. But Frankie never got, but Frank was a freak of nature, man.
Right.
He was one of those guys.
Well, Frank was built to play football. He wasn't built to play baseball.
I think the fact of the matter is that like for White Sox fans who bash on Sammy for doing steroids, I hate the steroid era, and I'm gonna tell you, I know that people started watching again because how could you not? The chase to 60 home runs. Didn't Sammy have like 160 RBI?
He was unbelievable that year.
Right.
I don't know about 160, but he was ridiculous.
Look up the stat. There's a stat. I need you to look that up while I'm ranting.
In 98.
Yeah, it was one of those years. Just type in Sammy Sosa most RBIs. I know it was somewhere. It was something crazy. It was something unbelievable. I don't know if it was 98. I don't know what season it was, but I know it was a bunch.
Holy, he had 158.
Yeah, okay,
That's
so
amazing.
I was not.
See, but
I
he's
was
not the
far
leader.
off.
He's not the leader for the Cubs, though. Actually, that's Frank Chance with 190.
Okay,
Because I think Hack Wilson has
Is that in the-
192.
Dude, is that in the 20s?
Yeah, it's
Okay, then that okay.
But that's why and that's unbelievable.
It's a bunch of white
I'm just
guys
saying.
before Jackie Robinson thrown together. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Well, Frank
yeah.
Chance was the man.
I
dude.
get it, and I'm not hating on a Cubs stat. I'm just saying that's an impressive stat. But the fact of the matter is, for me, and this is where we disagree completely, I hate the steroid era, and I don't care if it was a White Sox or a Cub, and that's why I made you say that. I don't care if it's Cub or not. I hate if it was Frank Thomas or if it was my favorite of all time being Creedy. I don't want anything like, you can come throw the first pitch out. I'll give you that, but your jersey, you're a fallacy to me. Like it's not real. It's BS. And I understand it does not make the players more skilled to hit the damn ball, but if you have a little bit of skill and you already made the major leagues to hit the ball, it gives you more power to make a pop-up go 500 feet.
Yeah, and I agree with you that
That
sure.
pisses
And
me off.
If you could help me out here
I
and
got
give
you,
me a
dog.
little
I got
plug
you,
there
buddy.
while I go.
got you.
Yeah, my computer's about to die.
I got you.
I agree with you wholeheartedly. I think that, yes, it's terrible that they cheated. It's a terrible era. I think that those guys should not be in the Hall of Fame. That's no reason to not welcome that guy back when Barry Bonds is sitting about to have his number retired, and Mark McGwire has been back several times for his respective teams. It's a matter. It's a matter of time before these bring him back. He's not asking you to put 23 or 21 in the rafters. He's not asking.
I understand that.
He's asking to come back and throw a pitch. He apologized to everybody. He said, "Hey, I was immature. I was young. I had my issues." Obviously, he's trying to come back to a team that just won the World Series. He felt not a part of it. He's paid his dues.
I'll give you that. Everybody else has, and he should be welcome back. I'll give you that.
And that's the argument.
I was
for
just
me.
saying. The fact that I hate the steroid era.
I think it's
bullshit. I think it's BS.
But see, like,
cheating.
How do we know who was cheating and who wasn't?
No, and we don't.
Like, that's the hard part. Like,
but
now that we know that, like, Roger Clemens was cheating, how do we not know that every pitcher wasn't cheating?
Oh, absolutely. I agree. I agree with that.
And all of them knew that they were doing steroids.
Again, I agree with you on that, but two wrongs don't make a right in that aspect, and I'm not saying there wasn't any Sox that were doing it either.
No, but there's some conspiracies that come out to it, too. The MLB didn't really advance their testing policies. They didn't
try to stop it because they were dying.
Right.
And yeah, we can agree on that wholeheartedly. That's why I don't care that Sammy doesn't come back. Me, as a fan, I don't like the cheating
and I
shit.
can see that.
Because, dude, you look at people and you're like, damn, man, that took a lot of skill. Like, no, you did have a lot of skill to get to the MLB. Just be you. Why you got to shoot yourself in the ass with something to make yourself the Incredible fucking Hulk?
Well, Sammy was going to be... Same thing with Barry. Barry Bonds was like a 30-30 guy without the steroids.
Him and... I don't know why, but him and Palmeiro, I'll even let Sosa and McGwire just walk in sunset. I hate Barry Bonds' smugness.
Well, they lied.
I know they did, I hate his smugness. But Barry Bonds was never caught.
Well,
his head
he never really allowed himself to be caught.
Exactly,
either.
but his head.
He was smart.
You
he
look
had a
at
good
his rookie
team.
card, and his head went from a grapefruit to one of them jackfruits that you see at Burcott's. I'm gonna local plug Burcott's. You can go ahead and go food shopping there, grocery shopping, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, just welcome Sammy back, dude.
It's so stupid that they haven't. And I mean, we can go into the normal baseball talk here for the team here.
And pick what you want to out of the thing here.
Okay,
Pick what you want to.
I want to talk a little Yu Darvish because I know that there's a lot of fans here
I'm really
that
happy
are talking
you picked
about,
Yu Darvish. Okay,
about this.
Very excited about this.
Yu Darvish is struggling. In 30 innings pitched, he's given up 20 earned runs, 6 home runs. He has 16 base on balls, 37 strikeouts, and a 6 ERA. Yu Darvish is going to be fine, Cubs fans. And you know why he's going to be fine? Because eventually the Cubs are going to learn that they need to send down Victor Caratini and bring up Chris Jimenez. I'm going to plug a Sports Mockery article. I don't know if it was Soto who did it, but he talked about bringing up Chris Jimenez. It's time. They brought him in to be Yu Darvish's personal catcher, and it is clear as day that Wilson Contreras and Darvish, this past start, I believe it was yesterday.
Was that when they got rocked?
Yeah, we're not on the same page. I know the wind was blowing out, and I want to read it. I want to list the opponents that Yu Darvish has seen and kind of go down this here. The Rockies yesterday gave up his 3 home runs and his 5 earned runs. Wind was blowing out, and the Rockies, while their offense is struggling, still have guys who could take you out of the yard. I'm gonna give him a wash. He still had 8 strikeouts. At times, his stuff looked good. He left a couple balls over the plate. He's gonna be fine. The Brewers start before then. 3 hits, 1 run. Awesome. 6 innings. Looked great. That's the start I'm gonna go back and look at more than I'm gonna look at the last previous start. I'm gonna look at the one after with the Rockies, 4 2/3. He gives up 5 earned runs. That's in Colorado. Colorado is it's tough to pitch there. I'm gonna give him a pass on that. The Braves. I don't know if anybody's been watching out of town baseball, but the Braves have a really good lineup at the top of it. And I remember watching this game. He only gave up 4 earned runs, but the top of the lineup was killing him. I think it's I'm going to give him somewhat of a pass there. I think that's a lineup he should do better against, considering his stuff. And then if you go back to the start before then, again against the Brewers, only gives up 1 run. The Marlins start I'm gonna throw out completely. It's his first one in a Cubs uniform. It's on the road. The Marlins were playing well at the beginning of the season with something to play for.
And don't forget about the Marlins real quick, if I could add something.
Yeah, go ahead.
How much crap was talked about them during the offseason?
That's what I'm saying.
That's a team that comes out hungry in the beginning of the season, man.
They're like, the Cubs were rumored to be the team to win that division, to win the NL. They're playing with that extra fire.
And fun fact is because I wanted you to bring it up, but I want to bring it up just because I found it and it made me feel even more connected to my friend.
There you go.
My brother. But the Marlins are the only team that the Cubs have played that's sub 500.
Yeah, and this kind of I was actually going to go into
that made me feel good.
I was actually going to go into the schedule. After that, basically for the Cubs, I was going to go and read off. The schedule seems to.
Did you see the last line on there?
I did. Yeah, you seem. See, I'm. Forget the naysayers, man.
Yes.
Forget them. I'm gonna Cubs fans, relax. This is what happens when you win a World Series for the first time in 108 years. The Cubs. This isn't 2016.
Don't single out Cubs fans though. It's pretty much all Chicago fans, man.
Well,
when something good happens, they all freak out.
No, but Cubs fans are worse than any of them.
Okay.
We are. Okay. I'll admit it because.
Okay, I'll give you.
I last year was kind of fed up with the effort that this team gave in the beginning of the season.
Well, you had said that a lot last year, that you're saying that they played uninterested.
But
and you said that you
won the World Series.
I think it was like
first time in 108 years. How can I understood it would be a rough go.
But I think that after the All-Star break, you just said, basically you told me I'm going to watch because that's what I do, but I'm sick of watching uninterested, thank you. Uninterested baseball, and then when they get to the playoffs, they're finally interested.
Yeah, and we've talked about this on air.
I know the hitting woes and stuff.
We've talked about this on air. I think if last year's playoff goes different with the Nationals and it doesn't get rained out, there is no Game 5 because the Cubs end them in Game 4 after that nuts Game 3 because
Talk about a game, huh?
Yeah, which was unbelievable. But Game 5 was great, but Game 5 was terrible for the Cubs' chances on beating the Dodgers because they exhausted every member of that bullpen, every member of the start. It was like going into the first game of the series, and I was like, who the hell is pitching? Like, they had nobody. Like, and then they go and they're tired, and then they have, obviously, we've talked about the layover with Quintana's mom, I believe, who was on that same flight.
Yep.
Who was sick, they had to divert and land. I don't know if that was ever confirmed that was, if that was her. But I'm throwing out last year because, A, they played uninterested after winning a World Series. It was tough going into the year because it's hard to, be that juggernaut of a team. Cub fans need to relax their expectations. I always think of this saying in baseball. At the beginning of the year, every team is going to win 60 games, and every team is going to lose 60 games. You play the whole season to figure out the middle 42. That is what you do. And the Cubs have done what? And they've been known to do this for the last 4 years. They win after the All-Star break. They've always done this. They're slow starting, other than 2016, when they were unbelievable on that unbelievable run, because they were playing they knew that this was the team to win the whole thing. They were ready to win it. They were ready to go. They had the veteran leadership to do it. They were ready to win a World Series. But the last year, give them a pass. Won a World Series, 108 years. This year, give them time to get. There's so many different players on this rotation, and the rotation had a good run before Darvish here. And Darvish is not going to pitch. He's not going to have a 6 ERA all season. And the offense is going to start to hit, and he's going to start to produce. Everything's fine. But see, I do think that they do need to bring up Chris Jimenez. I think that they brought him in to be his personal catcher. It was clear that Contreras and him were not on the same page last night. They need to give Darvish every ounce of comfort as they can, because when you look at it, he's at a new team. I know that he played in the NL last year, but he only
played in the NL for half the year.
He only had 12 starts.
He does not have a full year in the NL yet.
Right. I mean, the trade deadline does not happen exactly in the middle either, does it? I believe that it's a little after. So he only had 12 to 13 starts in the NL, and I think a lot of them were against NL West opponents, which, if you look, they haven't really played as many other. I know a lot of his starts have come against the Rockies, but it's only 2. The other ones are against the Brewers and the Braves. The Braves one was not that bad. The Brewers starts have been fantastic. If he is a guy who pitches well against the NL Central, that's a win in itself, because you beat the teams in your division before you beat them on the. They're going to split. Colorado's probably going to make the playoffs. They're a great team. He's pitched against very good competition.
I just don't understand.
He's got a 6 ERA.
I don't understand the panic over a 16-12 team.
Why are we fretting here?
I'm not
against a team that
I mean, I wouldn't anyway.
With a team who is going to play the Reds 100 billion times.
Well, we have to fret now, because this is kind of what we do. But I'm not fretting.
Oh, man, I'm not fretting. Nobody should fret.
Well, that's what
Everybody
I'm saying.
should be chill, enjoy the ride, because the Cubs are going to win.
What I was saying, if we suck, you would fret. Or if you suck, you would fret.
If the Cubs right now were 8-20,
we would be.
I'd be, what's going on here?
Exactly.
They're 16-12.
Why'd you have to bring up that kind of record?
Was that just by luck that that's the actual White Sox lineup? Because I didn't know that they were 8-20.
They won more than 8 games.
That's what I was gonna say, man. I've watched them win at least 6. But yeah, that's a good transition, because I've went far too long on this Cubs. The Cub fans, relax. As Aaron Rodgers says,
God, we
relax. Are you really? Oh, you are 8-20. No way.
Oh man, this 9%er is getting to me.